Have you ever wondered why some people trigger you so deeply? Or why you keep attracting the same kind of person over and over? Maybe it's that partner who leaves you feeling drained after every conversation, or that friend whose casual remark sends you spiraling into self-doubt. Or perhaps it's the family member whose presence stirs an old, unnamed ache. It's not just about them. It's about the forgotten side of you, your inner masculine or feminine, and your shadow's role in hiding it. Today, we're embarking on a transformative journey into Carl Jung's shadow work, Anima and Animus, and how these hidden opposites shape your relationships. If you're on a path of emotional healing or wrestling with why we attract toxic partners, this is your invitation. This isn't just a video, it's a mirror. Stay with me, because what you discover could reshape how you love, connect, and grow. What is shadow work? Let's begin at the heart of this exploration. You've likely encountered the term shadow in your spiritual or psychological wanderings, those parts of yourself you'd rather not face. Carl Jung, a visionary who peered into the soul's depths, described the shadow as the unconscious side of your psyche where you tuck away traits you deem unacceptable. This might include your anger that flares unexpectedly, your fear of failure that keeps you small, or even your tenderness that feels too fragile to show. But here's the radiant truth. Shadow work isn't about shame or self-condemnation. It's about integration, a brave, loving act of stepping into that hidden room, not to punish yourself, but to reclaim the pieces that make you whole. Imagine your mind as a vast house. The rooms you visit daily are your conscious self, your confidence, your humor. But there's a locked basement, dusty and dim, where you've stored the parts you've outgrown or been taught to hide. Maybe you've buried your sensitivity because someone called it weakness, or your assertiveness because it clashed with expectations. Those are shadow fragments, and when you leave them unaddressed, they don't stay quiet. They leak into your relationships, creating ripples of confusion, conflict, or longing you can't quite explain. This is where Anima and Animus come into play, and we're about to dive into their profound influence on your inner masculine-feminine balance. But first, let's linger here a moment. Consider one trait you've pushed away. What might it teach you if you welcomed it back? Now, let's meet two powerful archetypes that Jung uncovered, Anima and Animus. These are the unconscious feminine and masculine energies within you, shaping your inner world and, by extension, your outer connections. The Anima is the hidden feminine side in man, a wellspring of intuition, empathy, and nurturing that might feel foreign if you've been raised to be the rock, the provider. Picture a man who's spent years building walls around his emotions, taught that tears are a flaw. He buries his Anima, that soft, receptive part, but it doesn't vanish. It surfaces in his quiet yearning for a partner who embodies that gentleness, or in those rare moments when he feels an unexplainable pull to create or connect. Then there's the Animus, the unconscious masculine side in women. This is your inner strength, your capacity for logic, structure, and decisive action. Imagine a woman conditioned to be the caregiver, always putting others first. If she rejects her Animus, she might find herself lost in indecision, drifting into fantasies to escape the need to assert herself. These energies aren't gender-specific in a rigid sense. They're universal, but their expression varies based on your life experiences. Let's paint a picture with examples. Consider a man who overcompensates with dominance at work, barking orders to mask his fear of vulnerability. His Anima is crying out for expression, but he's silenced it, leaving his friendships shallow and his heart guarded. Or think of a woman who avoids confrontation, letting others make decisions for her family, her Animus untapped. She might dream of a life where she's bold, but without integrating that strength, she feels adrift. These aren't just stories. They're mirrors of your own potential struggles. Have you felt this tension? Maybe in a relationship where you've played a role that didn't quite fit, or in a moment when you surprised yourself with an unexpected trait. Jung believed these archetypes evolve through stages, starting as raw instincts, maturing into emotional connections, then blossoming into wisdom. For a man, his Anima might first appear as an idealized lover, then a supportive friend, and finally a wise inner guide. For a woman, her Animus might begin as a heroic figure, shift to a reliable partner, and ultimately become a source of inner clarity. This journey is yours to navigate, And it starts with recognizing these energies within, how these archetypes influence your relationships. So, how do anima and animus weave into the fabric of your relationships? Let's explore 6 patterns that might feel like they've been shadowing you for years. These are moments where your shadow and these inner opposites collide, influencing your romantic love, friendships, and family bonds in ways you might not have noticed. First, projection. You fall in love with the reflection of your own inner masculine-feminine. A man with a buried anima might be irresistibly drawn to a woman who's deeply emotional. Seeing in her the sensitivity he's locked away. It's intoxicating at first, he feels complete. But when the projection fades, and she's just human, he might feel disillusioned. Similarly, a woman with an underdeveloped animus might fall for a decisive man, projecting her unclaimed strength onto him. The honeymoon phase ends when she realizes she needs to cultivate that power herself. This pattern is a dance with your shadow, inviting you to see what's already within. Second, control dynamics. You seek in others what you haven't nurtured in yourself. If you've disowned your animus's assertiveness, you might gravitate toward a controlling partner, hoping they'll provide the structure you avoid. You might think, they're so strong, I need that. But deep down, it's your shadow calling you to claim that strength. Or if your anima is stifled, you might dominate others to protect yourself from vulnerability, creating tension in your friendships. It's a seesaw of power, and the balance lies in embracing both sides. Third, toxic cycles. Have you ever found yourself attracting unavailable partners, those who can't commit, who leave you waiting? This might stem from an unintegrated shadow. A woman rejecting her animus might chase men who mirror her own hesitation to step into power, creating a cycle of longing and rejection. A man neglecting his anima might push away intimacy, recreating a pattern of emotional unavailability he learned early on. It's painful, but it's a signal your shadow is asking for attention. Fourth, emotional shutdowns. An overactive animus in women can block your receptivity, turning you guarded or critical. Imagine snapping at your partner over a small slight, your words sharper than intended. That might be your animus shielding your softer anima from hurt. For men, a neglected anima can leave you detached, unable to express love fully. You might sit in silence during a family argument, not because you don't care, but because your shadow has muted your emotional voice. This wall can be dismantled with awareness. Fifth, fantasies versus real intimacy. Sometimes, you mistake your inner needs for external saviors. A man longing for his anima might idealize a partner as his perfect muse, pouring his dreams into her, only to feel let down when she can't carry that weight. A woman craving her animus might imagine a knight in shining armor, overlooking the real man who's imperfect but present. This disconnect keeps you from the raw, messy beauty of true connection, a lesson your shadow is eager to teach. Sixth, gender confusion and imbalance. Society often carves us into boxes. Men must be stoic. Women must be gentle. If you've internalized these scripts, your shadow holds the rejected parts. A man shamed for tears might lean heavily on logic, turning his marriage into a debate club rather than a partnership. A woman told to be quiet might struggle to lead her children, feeling powerless in her own home. These cultural echoes amplify your shadow's voice, urging you to reclaim what's been lost. These patterns aren't failures, they're invitations to growth. Your relationships are like a canvas, painted with the colors of your shadow self, reflecting where you're called to heal. How do you begin integrating these parts into your life? Let's dive into 5 practical tools to heal your inner masculine-feminine and transform your relationships, with room to explore each deeply. First, inner dialogue journaling. Find a quiet space with a notebook. Maybe light a candle to set the mood. Write a letter to your anima or animus. Start with, "What do you need from me?" A man might hear his anima whisper, "Let me feel the world's beauty," revealing a longing for connection. A woman might sense her animus saying, "Trust me to guide you," unlocking a hidden reservoir of strength. Don't rush. Let the words unfold over days. This isn't just writing. It's a dialogue with your soul, a bridge to your emotional healing. Second, guided imagery. This is a journey inward. Close your eyes and imagine a safe haven, a forest with dappled light, a beach with gentle waves. Invite your inner man or woman to appear. What do they wear? Are they young or wise? Do they offer a hand or a smile? A man might meet a gentle figure who teaches him to listen. A woman might encounter a steady presence urging her to act. Spend time here, journaling what you see. This practice connects you to your spiritual relationship psychology in a visceral way. Third, creative expression. Let your body and soul speak through art, voice, or movement. Sing a lullaby as your anima, letting your voice carry your tenderness. Paint with bold strokes as your animus, claiming your power on the canvas. Dance to release what's stuck. You don't need skill, just willingness. This is a celebration of your inner masculine-feminine balance, turning shadow into light. Fourth, mindfulness in relationships. Next time you're triggered, maybe a partner's silence frustrates you. Pause. Breathe. Ask, is this my shadow speaking? If a friend's critique stings, your anima might need love and affirmation. If a family member's chaos overwhelms you, your animus might crave order. Practice this daily. It's not about fixing them. It's about understanding you. This mindfulness is your anchor and projection in relationships. Fifth, healing the parent wound. Your anima and animus often carry the imprints of your mother and father. A distant dad might leave your animus feeling uncertain. An overbearing mom might mute your anima's voice. Reflect on a memory, perhaps a time your father dismissed your dreams, or your mother demanded perfection. Write about it, then offer forgiveness, not to excuse, but to free yourself. This step is the root of your shadow self-healing, unlocking deeper relational peace. These tools aren't quick fixes, they're a lifelong dance. Start small, with one practice this week, and watch how your relationships shift. You're not repairing a flaw, you're uncovering a masterpiece. You are not just one energy, you are both. And the more you embrace your inner feminine and masculine, the more whole and free your relationships become. Whether it's the tender love you share with a partner, the trust you build with a friend, or the harmony you cultivate with family, this work weaves a new story. Your shadow self isn't a foe, it's a friend, guiding you toward a fuller version of you. Take a deep breath now. Reflect. Which part of you, your anima or animus, feels overlooked? Is it the gentle voice you've hushed, or the strength you've doubted? What's one step you'll take this week? Maybe a journal entry, a quiet moment of imagery, or a kind word to yourself. I'd love to hear your journey in the comments. Share this with someone on their spiritual relationship psychology path. Let's inspire each other. If this stirred your soul, hit that like button, subscribe for more on Carl Jung shadow work and emotional healing, and ring the bell for updates. Until next time, keep exploring your depths with courage, grace, and an open heart.